Hope you're ready for a bit of trash right now, everybody. That's right, I refuse to play anything else but Victoria 2 Productions here, simply for the fact that Victoria 3 is never going to be a possibility, and I'm very, very upset and emotionally distraught by this idea. It's okay though, at least in September we can play some CK3, and I can take my illegitimate problems out on my illegitimate children. So a while back I made a video called Really Dumb Ways to Play EU4, and today we're carrying on that tradition with a video I've been meaning to make for a while called Incredibly Dumb Ways to Play Victoria 2. You can read. So obviously in Victoria 2 you can go ahead and kind of keep things to a historical path, you know, the old-fashioned ways of conquering the world as Great Britain, getting conquered as France, and being terrifying as Germany when it unites. But, and here's the big old juicy but, you can go ahead and do things that are a bit, you know, off the beaten path and incredibly, kind of dumb and overpowered. That's right, it's me, Great Britain, #1 great power, world peacekeeper, and most importantly, ally of Barack Obama. If there's one thing I really enjoy about the British, it's their enslavement of the Indians. You see, with all that power comes great irresponsibility, as I now have 50 troops at the start of the game I can go ahead and build. Playing as Britain is pretty simple, you know, you just go ahead, you assert your dominance over India, you get yourself a few wars on China, you know, the usual stuff. The cool thing about the UK is that you have a huge population both in your home countries and in your colonies to build massive armies, so why don't you go ahead and put them to use? And well, I can't think of anyone better to test this army out on than a former lost colony. Now, the best part is, if you go ahead and get this right, you can line it up with the Mexican-American War, and it's gonna be even easier for you to take some land off of them. You can also call in your 15 million Indian puppets and, you know, they might turn up. Now, the overall point isn't really taking land off America, it's more so just burning the idea of America and its country to the ground. So, yeah, burning America to the very ground it was built upon does take a little bit of time as you're sieging down every province independently, but if you do go ahead and call your allies in, you'll get a nice multinational force of the Ionian Islands, the Empire of Brazil, and Prussia helping you out to do it. It is also pretty important that you make sure that the Americans don't win the Mexican War, just so you can keep them disunited for the rest of the game. And there you go, with America fully occupied, they no longer have any prestige from losing the Mexican War, they have no industry because I burnt it to the ground, and they most importantly don't have a military, even though they are mobilized. Apparently they got 8 divisions hiding somewhere. But the most important thing about this is their 100% war exhaustion, which is going to cripple them, well, pretty much for the rest of the game, because, you know, the time they recover, that's when the Civil War kicks up, and when you're gonna go back in. Now, like I said, you could go ahead and take some land off them, or you could go ahead and cripple them a bit further by temporarily making them your puppet. Welcome back, America! Now, realistically, I just puppeted them for the meme. I don't think there's actually any benefit to actually doing this, because there is a potential they could get back to great power, and if they do, you're gonna lose them. But, realistically, well, they're already a bit upset about that whole puppeting thing. But either way, what is more, you know, beautiful thing to see than the British United States of America? There you go. Overpowered, ridiculous strap, but it's a lot of fun to just cripple America at the start of the game. Now, yeah, sure, it's an incredibly dumb way to play, knocking out the US, who are, you know, potentially one of the biggest great powers late game, but you can also take this idea of making a massive army and doing it to Prussia. You can knock Prussia out the game immediately. You can do it with France. Anyone you want, because Britain is pretty overpowered. But yes, your British little heart can sleep soundly now, knowing that you've gone ahead and you've stomped out the ideas of American freedom, liberty, and probably put the world on a very catastrophic path. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. You know what's fun? Russia. You know why it's fun? Because it's goddamn crazy. Pretty much a backwards, uncivilized hellscape where only 6% of your population can read at the start of the game. But you do have a massive army. But unfortunately, the thing about Russia is that they're constantly at war with people. You know, we've got a lot of enemies surrounding our gigantic nation. So we really need to start picking them off early while we still have the tech playing field and before people start reading more. So get this together. You got a population that can't read, you got a fat army, and on your border you got a neighbor who is completely behind you at the start of the game with a really good province called Silesia, and you have an ally called Austria that's willing to go ahead and help you take it. Put it all together and you've got yourself a big recipe for disaster for the Prussians. Prussians will go ahead and mobilize all of Germany against you, but you don't really have to worry about that because you've got a fat ass army that can just death stack around and crush them immediately. Oh, look at that. Danish saw an opportunity to scurry out their little rat hole and they're on board. Obviously burning Prussia to the ground, pretty fun. But having their country be in two halves and the map look ridiculous for the rest of the game, priceless, baby. Also, you know, the whole knocking, you know, Prussia out of great power immediately, that helps too. But we're not done yet. Russia has many enemies in the world, and we still have a massive army. Well, that won't be a first time the Russians needed to put down a Hungarian revolt. Now, after dissecting your favorite European, you know, neighbor, you can go ahead and think to yourself, well, what's the point now? I've taken down all my enemies. There's certainly no one left, is there? Oh, wait. Russia's greatest defeat! Oh, shucks, I know what's coming later on in the world, and I feel like I need to take care of this before it gets out of hand. Right. Try and torpedo boat my artillery, bitch. Sorry, Japan, but not this time. Also, after enforcing your will upon the Japanese, if they ever do manage to unify somehow after they've been completely destroyed, you can just go back in and take even more of them. You're definitely gonna go ahead to, you're gonna need to keep a pretty sizable army here though, because those Japanese, they do get pretty rowdy. So there you go, 1857, and you've just turned your game into a joke as you've already destroyed both of your only enemies throughout the game, really. Realistically, you can only do this at the start of the game, because whilst there is many ways to go ahead and westernize Russia quickly, I didn't show one off this time around, and we are sitting at 18% literacy rate, so we are slowly falling behind on technology. So you want to go ahead and well, just dismantle Germany and Japan before they become smarter than you. Also, yes, the Heavenly Kingdom did win the China War, because I didn't show when I went ahead and took Hong Kong, and then conveniently forgot about it and it got taken over by Jacobins, but I just can't be bothered. But anyway, let's go on to the next dumb way to play this stupid game. Ottomans, Schnottomans, am I right, everybody? So the best thing about the Ottomans is that you actually start allied with the Russians, who, as we have just seen in our last playthrough, have a, well, they have a really big army. That's right, we got ourselves a bit of a historical boogaloo going on. You see, the Austrians might have a better army and way more allies and more men than me, but what they don't have is Russia. A Russia that also just took land off of them. And I got a bit of land for it myself as well. For free, essentially. Bar the couple 100,000, you know, Egyptians I let die, but that'll also come in handy later. Next up, you gotta deal with that whole Egyptian revolt thing. It shouldn't be too difficult for you, especially if you know where you do it. So immediately after you've put down the Egyptian revolt, you've got yourself a nice little snippet of Italy. You can just carry on eating someone as soon as they get a certain little revolution pop up. Because all you need to do is get yourself up to friendly with the Hungarians and you can intervene. Sure, becoming war leader is pretty cool because you get to also bring in the big guns again. The Austrians won't really put up much of a fight for this, but piecing out is not what you should do. Obviously, because they've put status quo, it means you can't actually add any war goals, but we won't be needing to add any war goals. Unfortunately, no winged hussars this time, I'm afraid, Austria. Mostly because the Russians are on my side, and they shot and ate all the horses. So there you go, you got Austria fully sieged. When we peace out, they will lose all of Hungary, and most importantly, if we just keep them sieged out for a while, they'll lose all of their factories, prestige, and become a secondary power. There you go, just a bit of salt in the wounds to the rebels just overthrew their government. There you go, after you've crippled them enough, you can basically say goodbye, Austria. Bit funny there. The Italians just formed from two Sicilies who was in my sphere, and they immediately declared war on the Pope, and I kind of feel like I want the Pope. There you go. much better hands it's under there. Oh, yeah, there you go. Just scientists discovered manifest destiny, which is what I'm doing to Austria right now. Oh, there you go, 1857, and I've gone ahead and puppeted the Austrians. That's right, it's Ottoman Austrians. It's kind of like good luck holding on to it, but you know, I thought I'd do it to end this part of the video off. What a bit of a meme. Anyway, on to the last one. That's right, it's me, Le Baguette, which if you don't know, is French for the sausage. Alright, this one is actually pretty simple. Oh, there you go. That's what I needed again. Me just mobilizing the entire French population right now. Yeah. I feel like we've got a little bit of revenge to hand out. Oh, found the British Navy. Just gonna go ahead and snipe that quickly. There it goes. Okay, I just got myself a nice little holiday home down in Liverpool. Am I happy with just taking Liverpool in 1848? Not really. Yeah, first off, let's just take a quick pit stop to Prussia, really. We haven't done that around the Maginot BS this time, friend. There you go, look at that. The natural borders of France. Exactly what they meant when they were thinking of that idea. It's just the small little French PP into Germany. Oh, never mind. I was gonna shoot Britain again to get great power, but I'm already #1, baby. Look at that. Oh, powerful. There you go. All it took was 10 plus years, you know, a little bit over. Got myself the most powerful empire in the entire world. All because I took Liverpool. Alright, we're going to leave it off here for today, though. I hope you enjoyed these really dumb ways of playing Vic 2. Some of them work, some of them, you know, might not work that well. Anyway, though, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe button down below if you want to see more dumb stuff like this in other games like Hoi 4 or CK2 or another one in EU4. Be my guest, let me know down below. But until next time, guys, I need to go, like, bleach my eyeballs.